Hi, and welcome to Prepping Essentials. Good morning, it's 6:15 on Saturday the 28th of May. Just making my way down to the land, and as always, not quite sure what we're going to get done today, but let's find out. Well, here we are down on the land, and despite the fact it's really early, the sun is screaming out at me. It's really bright this morning, which is good news. Means I'll be able to get stuff done outside. The old grass is looking a little bit long already. Might have a go at some of that today. Won't do the lot because there's other things I need to be doing. Loads of stuff to bring down from the car. I've got a full load in there today, so I'll get that done before I set about making the coffee. Can't believe how bright that is, shining on the polytunnel there. Talking about polytunnel, I can see already, don't know if you'll see it on the video or not, but I can see the outline of the seedlings. They're going to be ready, I think, for transplanting out into the raised beds. So yeah, lots and lots of different things today. Anyway, as always, I'll get sorted out, opened up, check on the chickens, get the coffee on, and we'll have a chat. Well, that's a new hive. I've been building that during the week in between work. It's identical pretty much to the original hive. Only slight difference between that one and this one is that the queen excluder sheet between the brood box and the super box is plastic on this one, whereas it's metal on the other one. So let me get myself tidied up, sorted out, and at some point we'll come back and do a little bit more on this. I need to find a pallet base to replace those blocks of wood, same as I've got on this one. Just get it off the floor, give it a paint, and we can start the process, hopefully, of transferring the bees from the temporary hive into the new hive. But that's all to come yet. Well, that's the chickens sorted out with the little corn, busy pecking away. They do love that in the morning, and of course it's the weekend, so we've got some greenery later. Also nice to get a little bounty of eggs. That's my treat from them for all of the effort that I put in, sorting them out, keeping them fed and watered. 11 eggs, can't complain. Well, good morning. It's the weekend. It's been a long time coming this week. I've been so busy, work and other domestic type chores. I've also been spending a bit of time assembling a new beehive. You'll have seen that this morning as I dragged it across the field. I tried to take the opportunity of whatever spare hour or two I had during the week just to assemble that. Went down to the factory where they make all of the beekeeping stuff. Beautiful, beautiful place. If you get a chance, have a look. It's called Thorne, Thorne, Beehives. It's in Rugby, Lincolnshire. Little tiny village, middle of nowhere. Beautiful, beautiful place. All landscape gardens and ponds, and stunning. What a nice way to make a living. Anyway, it comes flat packed. So during the course of the week, I've had the tools out and I've been assembling that. I'll pop a little clip in the video somewhere around about here. I got my flat pack Beehive, picked it up from the manufacturers during the week, and I've been busy whenever I've got a spare hour or so, just coming down and assembling. I'll probably put a link in the description of the video to the video I did of my first hive, because that shows you the step-by-step process of how you assemble everything. But I mean, it is painful. Everything needs building. The frames themselves need to be fabricated and nailed together. It's a fiddly task. Inserting the wax strips inside the frames. Still got lots of bits inside the box. I've got 10 more of these super hive frames to do, but that's for tomorrow. I'm just about worn out. It's dinner time, and I don't know how many times I can manage to hit my fingers with the hammer. But yeah, I'll pop this into the weekend video just so you can see, and hopefully you'll see the completed hive going in. So, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, I hope you're staying safe and well and enjoying your weekend. Glorious day out there this morning. I suspect it's going to be really hot later. There's not much cloud around at all, and the sun is really bright, piercing bright in the sky. So, decisions as to what to do today. So many things. There's obviously the beehive, one sorting out. There's probably a bit of honey in there that needs to come out as well. Swap some frames around. Main concern, of course, is looking at the second hive, and fingers crossed the bees I put in there have magically made a queen and have settled in. So just as they have, I'm going to move them out into that big new hive. Grass is getting longer, so that needs doing as well over the course of the next week or two. Seedlings, I've been keeping an eye on those as I've been watering during the week, so we'll take a look at those a little bit later on in the video. Chickens need cleaning out. It's like an endless array of tasks that need to be done. But it's all nice, it's all good, and it will keep me in food this year, because as we all know, even the media and the governments are admitting it, these shortages we've been talking about for quite some time now are finally starting to appear, and the prices, as again we all know, have started to go through the roof. So there's never really been a more urgent and beneficial time for people to look at finding ways of storing up food as a hedge against the price rises, and wherever they can, actually producing their own. I'll talk about my own little food supply that I've got going on as we go through the rest of today's video, but there are so many things going on in the big wide world right now that are just adding one on top of another to create this, what is going to be a huge crisis as we head towards the end of the year. Whether it's weather events around the world which have disrupted the planting, the growing and the harvesting season, not just this year, but also last year and to a degree the year before as well. Just scroll back through the videos, take a look, not just on mine, but on other people's as well. Take a look at all of the problems that we've had with weather disrupting the global food production and supply chain. The COVID saga of 2020-21 massive disruption, shortages of labour to produce the food, plant the food, harvest the food, the knock-on effect that that had with the supply chain, the availability of the materials you need to produce the food, the cost of the food with the rise in energy prices, particularly around diesel for planting, harvesting and trucking everything in. So many things that we've talked about in the videos over this last couple of years now, all coming together. And of course, there's no escape the latest military conflict with Ukraine and Russia, which governments and media are determined to try and pin the blame on for everything that's been going wrong. So I would encourage everybody, if you've not started, start. If you have started, continue to build up your supplies. Everything pretty much is available still if you hunt around. Yes, the prices have gone up, but the prices are only going to continue to go up. So why not take advantage now? Buy it now and save yourself the pain of either not having it later or of paying massively increased prices as we go through the rest of this year. On my side, I've got food supply in the form of the chickens, whether that's the eggs they produce or as I build my flock, whether that's taking the odd one here and there as a meat substitute for meat in the supermarket. Similarly, wildlife around, you've seen me complain endlessly in videos about the variety of pests that I have down on the field. There's nothing to stop me, if I needed to, in culling those and taking some rabbit or some pigeon or some pheasant, in season of course, as another way of supplementing with meat, as a meat substitute from the supermarket. You might have seen the little clips I put on the community tab. I've got fruit trees producing fruit. Very surprised about that, to be honest. They are still very, very young. I didn't expect fruit for at least a year or two yet, but lo and behold, the cherry tree's producing. Though I suspect the pigeons will probably get to those before I do. Yes, I know that I can net, and thank you to all the people who do put comments in the comment section. That's a huge area to net for the sake of a small amount of cherries on there. So much as I would love to have the cherries to myself, I'm prepared at this stage of the game to sacrifice some to the wildlife. And then similarly, in terms of the other planting, you'll see later on as we have a walk around, I've got lots of stuff coming through now, and I will continue to plant as we go through this year. All the way through to the end of the year, I'm determined to plant as late as I possibly can and to get stuff moved inside where necessary to grow it on and try and keep going at least into the start of the winter months. I will also definitely be looking this year at heating. I've got a couple of options that I can use as a paraffin heater. I'm experimenting with a electric, that's off my solar, electric water heater. And I'll continue to experiment and try and find out what works and what doesn't to extend my growing season or to kick off earlier than I did this year. So yeah, food. The shortages are definitely there. It's not just me saying it. It's gone global mainstream now. We can't just keep ignoring it or hoping that it'll go away. There is no magic bullet for this. As you'll know from my planting journey, the growing season is a year. So the stuff that goes in the ground takes a year to end up on the supermarket shelves. And indeed some of it supplements, it goes into longer term stored foods, so bulk dried foods or canned goods. All of these canned vegetables that you see and fruits in the supermarkets, they're not from this year's planting, they're from previous year's planting. So if you think about the problems that we've had over the last few years, it's not just this year, they're all coming together and you're going to see a massive knock-on effect as we head towards the end of the year. So have a little look, have a little think. You don't have to have a whole field in order to start producing food. Small back gardens can easily do it. Plant some fruit trees, pop a little greenhouse up or a cold frame up, dig a few raised beds, pop some stuff in the conservatory if you have one. There's lots of things you can do to try and produce at least some of the food that you might need. The other stuff, the staple stuff, so things like your rice, your grains, your beans, canned food, get it stored in to your pantry. And if your pantry's not big enough, find somewhere else, a garage perhaps, a shed in the garden perhaps, where you can store it. You will thank me for it later as we head towards the end of this year, whether that's through avoiding the price rise or mitigating the price rise, or whether that's simply because there's nothing there in the supermarkets. So I know it's a bit of a dry subject, food production, food storage, but it's probably the most vital of all of the prepping that we do. You can do things to keep yourself warm and sheltered, but food, if it's not on the supermarket shelf, or if you physically cannot afford to buy it because the price has gone that high, you're going to very quickly die without it. So why put yourself into that position? I'd encourage everybody, get out there now and either top up if you're already prepping or get started, because time for sure is running out for people who haven't actually started on this journey yet. Anyway, what are you all up to? I've seen quite a few comments on the videos talking about things that people are planting. I'll run round mine shortly so you can see what's going on. Some really good news and some disappointing news. It's a bit of a mixed bag really, but all in all it is progress, and after all that's the most important thing. No matter how small a step it is that you're taking, just take those steps, because eventually all those little steps turn into a huge marathon that you can complete. So get started. Right, I need to finish this coffee off, get myself up and about. Lots and lots to do, but wherever I am doing, I'll keep you posted as we go through the video. Well, it wouldn't be the weekend without the greenery. So the chickens are all busy pecking around. Cockerel's going crazy down there. They're all busy pecking around. I've got loads to do. Loads and loads to do. It's nice to see all of the blossom coming on these elderberries. Very nice to see. More food for the bees. Lots and lots of it. Sun is out now, so I suspect that the bees are also going to be out and about soon, which will be nice. I'll be able to have a look at that hive. But I'll get myself inside. I've got lots of tidying up to do, and I'll give you a quick run round the planting. Well, I promised you a quick run round, so here we go. Everything's pretty much as was in here. The only real difference is the volume of fruit production on these blueberry bushes. Absolutely millions of them now, and we've actually got the first ones, look, it's turning blue. How nice is that? They are everywhere. I've moved some of the seed trays, the ones that germinated, out of that raised bed, so that's actually empty now. The little chickens raised bed doing nicely. Lots of lettuce now coming up on those, so it won't be long before the chickens are eating those. The cabin's a right mess. That honey harvest last weekend, I managed to wash everything up, but stuff is scattered everywhere. It needs a good clean out in there. I daren't show you that, it's shocking. Similarly around the raised beds, the grass and the weeds have gone absolutely wild, and they need to have the strimmer run round in here. And those empty raised beds, even though I did weed them just a week or so ago, they're already getting overgrown, so more weeding to be done. But despite that, all the potatoes are going crazy down the side of the polytunnel, including the new ones, the last ones that were planted. They're all coming through a treat now, everywhere, look. Lots of succession planting there. Strawberries doing well. Since I double netted this garden area, there's been no more signs of digging, and we've got loads of strawberries coming through. The onions, I don't know if you can see because of that sunshine reflecting or not, but all of the onions doing well, and the garlic doing well. It's hard to see the strawberries for the grass, but they're there. Lots and lots of them. They are everywhere. Sweet corn putting on lots of growth. I've left that potato in there, that stray one. But yeah, we're starting to get the double leaves coming through. I'm surprised that they've not been chewed at by the pigeons. Very surprised. And the cherries still on the tree and changing colour, which is nice to see. So lots going on. I'm itching to get across and look at those bees. It's just still, if you can see it there or not, still slightly in shade. But it is warming up, rapidly warming up. We'll have a quick run round in the polytunnel, see what's going on in there. Again, a bit of tidying up to be done in here. I've been watering. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, that's almost ready. As is that one down there, look. And over here. Look at that. How nice is that? I'll be eating those this week, for sure. Lovely. Sorry, I digress. Oh, inside here we've got a couple of pumpkins growing in those buckets. I planted out the cucumbers last week, and look at this, something's been chewing. That one's completely gone. That one's got loads of nibbles out of it. Bloody pests. This side's, oh, this side's been chewed as well, look there. And a little bit there. Carrots doing well in the corner. New carrots coming through. They look a bit dry. I've been watering these, but it's really difficult keeping on top of it during the week. But they're still there. Tomatoes, lots of growth on the tomatoes now. Looking very nice. They're going to start to need to be staked out and trimmed very shortly. Little potato forest. Some of the younger ones are still blooming. The older ones, that one's fallen down. Now, do I want to take a look at that this weekend or not? Because that's one of the early ones. I'm really not sure. You'll have to let me know what you think. Should I harvest that or not? Seedlings going crazy. Lots of broccoli. Not so many cauliflower. Disappointing with the cabbage. You might remember I've tried desperately to get peas to grow. There is one solitary little pea there. I don't know what's up with peas. Disappointing last year and disappointing this year. Everything else, we've got cauliflower, we've got swede, we've got more swede. Those chilli plants, one's died back there. Looks like it might be trying to make a bit of a recovery, but we'll see. More tomatoes. So seedlings finally coming through, which is nice to see. I am going to have to start nipping some of these out soon, these tomatoes. Anyway, let me get these watered, because they're in desperate need by the looks of it. It is, even at this time of the morning, scorching hot in here. And if I were to tap that, I don't know if you can see that or not, it's like a little rainfall. The humidity does build up really quick in here. Anyway, there we go. I think get the strimmer out and have a strim around the raised beds first. We might tackle the grass while we're waiting for the beehive to get in full sun. These potatoes are going crazy in these barrels now. Really strong growth, if you can see them, for the grass. Oh, and you know who loves this, don't you? This clover. Yep, the chickens. Anyway, let me get sorted out, decide what I'm going to do first, and I'll keep you posted as we go through the video. Well, I've been on a bit of a mission. I've strimmed round the outside of the cabin. It was getting a little bit raggedy, but more importantly, around these whiskey barrel planters, all the way around the polytunnel and around the raised beds. It's amazing how much growth there is, but it's all down. Just needs a bit of a rake up and a tidy up. When I've done that, I'll do some weeding in these beds as well, get them ready for planting out. Ooh, bit of a long job, but it's all done, looking really very tidy. Very pleased. The sun has disappeared, typically I guess, just at the time that I wanted it to be out so I could get in the beehive. So I don't know what's going to happen with that today. Anyway, let me get tidied up, get all the trimmings picked up and put away, and we'll take it from there. There's a lot of thistles in here, it's bloody spiky. Even with gloves on. There's an awful lot of it. Well, I keep weeding these raised beds and the weeds keep coming back, but hopefully when I get properly planted out, the plants that I put in will outgrow the weeds. That's what I'm hoping. I guess we shall see. Well, that's the weeding done. Cleared out those raised beds and that end one, which is ready for planting. Cleared out the onions and the garlic, so they're all looking a lot better now, a lot tidier. We do need some water though. Kind of caught between a rock and a hard place here, whether to water or whether to see if it rains. I don't honestly know what to do, because they do need it. We've got loads of clouds in the sky, it keeps coming dark and then brightens up again. The eternal gardening dilemma. Anyway, now get rid of this rubbish and we'll get some seedlings planted out. Regular viewers will remember that last week I harvested some honey, my first honey, and my lack of experience led me to break 3 frames while I was using that honey spinning machine. These are the 3 frames. I've left them outside to dry out, and what I'll do is I'll remove the actual wax sheets and discard those, and I'll replace them with new sheets. That's going to be a very messy job, but while they're out here, look at all the bees feasting on the honey. There's my bees, which are these, and then there's a little stray bumblebee, which obviously isn't mine. Fascinating to watch. They're all busy, busy, busy. Well, now the raised bed is all weeded, I'll take the opportunity to try and get some of these broccoli in. It's a little bit fiddly because they're a little bit wet. They don't want to come out. Decent root growth. I'll just bank these up. This is going to be a long, tedious process. So I'll get these in, and you can see the finished result. Look at some nice healthy plants in these Swedes. Hopefully we'll keep the critters off them. Time will tell. Well, I've just planted out all of the seedlings, well, not all of the seedlings, but a lot of the seedlings into the raised beds. Just giving them a bit of a watering in. Looking at the sky, I've no clue what it's going to do, but I dare to take the chance that it doesn't rain. Because if it doesn't rain, that would be a complete disaster. So we've got these in. There's a combination of swede and cauliflower in this one and the other one. And then we've got this one full of broccoli. Fingers crossed the critters don't get them. Well, you just knew there'd be some painting at some point. Just fabricated this stand for a new beehive. Just chopped up an old pallet. So I'll get it painted up. And hopefully get it in place for a new hive before the rain comes. Because looking at the sky, it's gradually getting darker and darker. I don't know if I'm going to get the beehive sorted out today. I really don't. But we can but try. Right, it's time to try and get the beehive in place, but I've noticed something in the tree. I'll do this, then I'll show you what I've seen. This might all be in vain, I don't know. They're obviously not liking me moving everything around. Right, make some space in this hive with the frames out of that box. Yeah, they're clearly not happy. They're still in the box, which is good. But they're not happy with me playing around. And if we open the box, let's have a little look. Well, we've got plenty of activity. Let's see if I can get these frames out and into the other box. But they're not happy. Not happy at all. And I think I know why, but I'll show you once I've got these frames transferred. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's get rid of those. plenty of activity, that's for sure. Got to be a bit careful now. Because they're not enjoying this. Framers are all stuck together. That's better. Ah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's have another one in there, just to finish it off. Okay. Now this is where they're going to really get mad, as I try and tip them back into the hive. Right, I think we'll leave that there for now. Right, that's the hive assembled. Just put that there for now and hopefully it'll encourage them to go inside. Oh. Right, let me show you what I saw. I'll take this off the tripod. Now look at this. For some reason they've swarmed into that tree. Now that's not good news. That could be from the main hive. I'm going to need to take a little look inside there. It could be that the bees have come from that hive, the original hive, and for whatever reason swarmed with a new queen over to there. I'm hoping it's not from this box. I don't think it is, but as if I hadn't done enough now, I really need to check inside that one there. So give me 2 minutes while I get set up. Well, I've managed to upset one hive. I'm probably going to upset this one as well now. I'm hoping they're all still in there and that only part of them have gone. Well, I can see bees, so that's good. They're actually producing a lot of honey in here, look. That's half capped off. So that's a good sign. I've brought 3 new frames to replace the 3 that I broke. So let me pop a couple of those in now. Just plain wax on these. I can't get them in. Oh, I'll come back to that later. But we are still producing honey, which is really nice. The burning question is, what's inside there? Well, we've still got people inside here, look. They're all busy drawing those frames out. That's the new box I put on when I did the honey harvest, so that's good. The burning question is, what's going on inside here? Need my little tool. They're actually building up from underneath, which is not good. It's making it difficult for me to get this off. It's sticking right in the middle. Ooh. Well, we've still got activity. So that's good. Let's take a little look and see what we've got going on. Still got bees, so that's good. Oh, this is heavy. This is really heavy. That's all honey in there. They're busy capping that off. And that's pretty much all the honey as well. And we're looking to see if there are any eggs in here or larvae in here. At the moment I'm not seeing brood, I'm seeing lots of honey but no brood, which is a bit of a worry because we need bees. And we're getting a bit ruckusy. I see a few capped cells. But not as many as I'd like to see. And I still don't see any larvae. Getting a bit ruckusy. Again, we've got a few capped cells, but most of them are actually empty. Yeah, a little bit worrying this. I don't know if you can see or not. Lots of empty cells. wind's just getting in the way. Oh, come on, Charles. Come on, boys. And this one's pretty much just honey, and they're building out the back. So that's not a very good sign. I am a little bit concerned, I have to say. Come on, get out of the way. It's not helping that the wind's picking up. So as fast as I'm putting smoke on, it's blowing away. Right, let's get them put back together. Yes, I know. Woo! Right, let's gather all my things up and we'll have a little chat in the cabin. I'm not sure how well you saw this on the other video, but the bees have made a swarm inside this hawthorn bush. So they've come out, I think, of the first hive. Don't know why they've done that, but they have. I'll leave that box there just so that those bees can, sorry, camera's gone all squiffy, so the bees can migrate into that new hive. They're all seeming to move in there okay. and the original hive, they're just coming and going. I am concerned about that. I'm going to have to get some advice. So if you're watching, Simon, give me a shout. Tell me what I should be doing with this one, because it looks like they've migrated from that hive into that bush. And I don't know why they would do that. There's still quite a lot of bees in there, but nowhere near what there was. So a bit bizarre. Anyway, let me get myself tidied up and get in the cabin. I was absolutely roasting in that bee suit. The temperature's not too bad, to be fair, but the sun's disappeared and these clouds coming over, it's getting quite humid and muggy. And of course, humping the beehive about and the kind of nervous stress that you get when you do it, or when I do it because I'm new to this. Yeah, worn out. So, don't know what to say about the beehive. I'm hoping that there's sufficient in there to recover, but I really could do with a bit of advice, so I'm going to start reaching out, and I'll also have a little look on YouTube. It's possible to capture that swarm, but it's something I've never done, and I suspect if I tried it would be a disaster. It'd be funny for you watching on the video, but I don't think it'd be very funny for me. Anyway, lots done today. I need to get tidied up. Time has flown by so quickly today, but we're making progress, so that's what counts. So I'll tidy up, get locked up, and start thinking about getting this video uploaded. I will be down at some point tomorrow. I'll take another little look at the hive and that swarm to see what they're doing. Don't know how they get on overnight. I don't know how long it's been there, obviously. I've only just seen it today, but I think I would have noted, oh, excuse me, I think I would have noticed on Thursday when I came down if it was there, because I was looking at the beehives, not inside but outside. Anyway, it's all a learning curve. Right, let me get tidied up and we'll wind this up for today. Well, that's it for today. Everything's locked up, put away. Nice to see the raised beds trimmed down. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Are we going to get some rain from those clouds, or is it another bluff? I'll be down anyway tomorrow, so if we don't get any I can water. It would just be nice for the rain to water instead of me having to hump endless watering cans around. Not sure about the bees, a little bit nervous, but it is what it is, and it's all a learning curve. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, hope you're staying safe and well and enjoying your weekend, and I'll catch up with you in the next video. Well, that's it for this video. I hope there was something in there that was of interest to you. If you did like the video, please do click on the like button. Also feel free to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. As always, I welcome any comments, questions or suggestions you might have. Just feel free to leave them in the comments section below. But for now, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.